Ladies and gentlemen, I might be the only person on YouTube talking about this today, but technically, if Mitch McConnell has adopted fully Josh Hawley's resolution that he signed on to, today is the date that Pelosi has to give the articles of impeachment. Today is the date where she must. This is 25 days from when they impeached Trump based on no direct evidence, according to 538 and the Associated Press, based on no crime, according to the Washington Post, and based on the fact that President Zelensky stated there was no quid pro quo, and his predecessor of Ukraine, President Poroshenko, stated there was no quid pro quo. They impeached the president based on the hearsay and gossip of disgruntled diplomats, and then 4 or 5 scholars, one of whom said and wrote an article in Bloomberg stating that Trump isn't even impeached until the articles get to the Senate, and they haven't yet. So the resolution reads, if this is Josh Hawley of Missouri's resolution, the senator, if following adoption of such articles, the House of Representatives does not notify the Senate or otherwise provide for such articles to be exhibited to the Senate within 25 calendar days from the date of adoption of such articles, as recorded in the journal of the House of Representatives, such articles shall be deemed exhibited before the Senate, and it shall be in order for any senator to offer a motion to dismiss such articles with prejudice for failure by the House of Representatives to prosecute such articles. Such motion shall be adopted by an affirmative vote, which they had, of a majority of the senators. Now, look, the resolution was already adopted, so Mitch McConnell is on board with the resolution. Today is the 13th. It's 25 days since December 19th. Now, this is an article, Epic Times. If Hawley's resolution is approved, this is a week ago or so, and it was approved, as is and made public, applicable to the December 19th date, Pelosi would have to deliver the 2 approved articles of impeachment to the Senate no later than the 13th, January 13th. She has withheld them while insisting the Senate adopt fair rules that allow testimony. So, likely, if they go by the strict, the technical, the words written within the resolution, she has until today. Now, very likely, Pelosi's going to get greater leeway. Okay? But here, if Hawley's resolution is approved, as is, and you heard the resolution right now because I just read it, and made applicable to the December 19th date, because that's when they impeached President Trump, Pelosi would have to deliver the 2 approved articles of impeachment to the Senate no later than January 13th. What's today's date? January 13th. Now, if you look, has Pelosi, at the time of this, so this is early in the morning Pacific time. I'm doing this around 5 a.m. in the morning Pacific time. Pelosi articles of impeachment. Has she given them to the Senate? No. No. Not yet. Not yet. Let's look at Nancy Pelosi's Twitter page. So nothing. Last is 19 hours ago. And says nothing about sending the articles of impeachment. The president has been impeached, and no amount of gamesmanship from Leader McConnell will erase that fact. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nancy, I was too busy watching the Texans and Chiefs. What was that you said? Oh, my goodness, Mahomes, he was amazing. What, the president's was impeached? Oh, you have until today, Nancy. You know, it's interesting. The Texans were up 21-0. What was that? Oh, Trump has been impeached. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. More people care about the playoffs than Trump being impeached because they know when you get into the ring, Nancy, when you want a shot at the title, you're going to get khabibed. They call me the babyface assassin, and it's not because of my good looks. You're going to lose this round, Nancy. We'll eventually get the articles of impeachment, and according to Senator Hawley, if you don't give them today, your goose is cooked.
So today is the day they approved and voted on a resolution already. Mitch McConnell voted alongside Josh Hawley. I think McConnell is allowing a couple of days. Let's see here. Today should be the day that they simply say, if they abide by the resolution that they voted on, January 13th is 25 days since Trump has been impeached. Today is January 13th. If Pelosi does not give the articles of impeachment, according to the resolution, here 3 days ago, McConnell backs measure to change Senate rules. So maybe this talks about giving some leeway, because according to the resolution, today's the day. McConnell backs measure to change Senate rules, dismiss impeachment without articles. January 9th. Now this is January 13th. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is backing a resolution to change the Senate rules to allow for lawmakers to dismiss articles of impeachment against President Trump before the House sends them over. So before the House sends them over, the resolution would give the House 25 days to send articles of impeachment over to the president. After that, a senator could offer a motion to dismiss with prejudice. McConnell has repeatedly lashed out at Nancy Pelosi for delaying sending over the articles of impeachment. This is what they've done. They have initiated one of the most grave and most unsettling processes in our Constitution and refused to allow a resolution. The Speaker began something that she herself predicted would be so divisive to the country, and now she is unilaterally saying it cannot move forward towards a resolution. Now, all Pelosi said was, okay, well, we'll send it this week. She hasn't given a date. So, Pelosi, date, send. She hasn't given a date. 2 days ago, Pelosi will send impeachment to Senate for historic trial. When? When? She has not given a date yet. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the House will take steps next week to transmit the articles of impeachment. The trial could begin next week. The Constitution gives the House the sole power to impeach, but the Senate the ability to render a verdict. Well, he hasn't committed a crime, so that's number one. Number two, there's no direct evidence of anything. Number three, Biden is the last person Trump cares about. And she needs four. She's not going to get the witnesses that she wants. She needs 4 senators to defect. She's not going to get 4 senators to defect. So, I mean, this is really hilarious. If you look, now, there's like a 5 or 10% chance that they take Josh Hawley's, technically, today is the day. So today is the day that they should be sending the articles of impeachment to the Senate. Today's the day. Whether they send the articles of impeachment, I don't know. Whether the Republicans demand that they receive the articles today, or else begin without the articles of impeachment and vote for a motion to dismiss. I don't know. But there's no direct evidence of anything. Yet the witness account, and then Associated Press, yet the witness accounts left one prominent hole that offered a lifeline for Trump and his GOP allies. None of the witnesses could personally attest that Trump directly conditioned the release of the $400 million in military aid. So this is the type of thing, if the tables were reversed, they would say Trump and Republicans claim without evidence. All they have is disgruntled diplomats. FiveThirtyEight. Democrats' case against Trump, on the other hand, doesn't have that one key piece of evidence directly linking Trump to a quid pro quo. So there you go. I mean, it's pretty interesting how they feel that they're beyond any reproach, any critique, that they can just, because they have the media, because Democrats have the media, they can pretend, they can just fall back on nonsense. They can even make up and fabricate an entire narrative. The notion that Russia hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated is not only based on CrowdStrike, it's based primarily on this. Judgments are not intended, and CrowdStrike was outsourced by Democrats, but here, the United States government is not certain that Russia hacked the DNC. This is a fact that nobody knows. They are not certain. They've confirmed, they believe, they think it's almost certain, but it's not certain. They're not certain. Judgments are not intended to imply that we have proof that shows something to be a fact. Assessments are based on collected information, which is often incomplete or fragmentary. This is the Office of Director of National Intelligence that used Comey and Brennan and Clapper. He used all the available intelligence, quote-unquote intelligence they had. High confidence generally indicates that judgments are based on high-quality information from multiple sources. High confidence in a judgment does not imply that the assessment is a fact or a certainty. Such judgments might be wrong. They have predicated 3 years of every single provocative, sensational headline in the New York Times and the Washington Post regarding Trump working with Russia upon complete and utter overt deception by the intelligence community. I mean, it's just overt deception. They are not certain. They indicted Russian intelligence officers based on Company One's assessment. If you read the indictment, it's based on Company One. It's not based on the United States government's. So what they do is they play a semantic game. They say, well, the judgments have been confirmed. So CrowdStrike's judgments, because they're not certain, they're not taking any liability for anything. They're outsourced by the DNC, and they say, well, yeah, Russia hacked the DNC. They're not certain. They're not going to make any guarantees. That assessment, which without certainty, is confirmed by the American intelligence agencies, who also make the assessment that assessment was right. So it's just a confirmation of the fact that two parties don't know, they're not 100% sure what took place, but they are truly, positively confident it happened. That's why when Dr. Fiona Hill, and one of the impeachment witnesses says, Trump is spreading Russian propaganda that the Russians didn't interfere. Sorry, Dr. Hill, read the actual ODNI report and read the CrowdStrike assessments, both of which do not claim anything with certainty, nor do they claim any guarantees. In fact, the DHS report states there's no guarantees, and the ODNI report states that such judgments they have might be wrong. High confidence in a judgment does not imply that the assessment is a fact or a certainty. Guess what? Because it's not. Then they spend 3 years, and you have one of the journalists, Jennifer Rubin, in the Washington Post, stating, well, hey, Trump wasn't exonerated. Oh, yes, he was exonerated. And he wasn't indicted because of a Justice Department memo. Why on earth did they? When Rosenstein appointed Mueller, there was nothing within the appointment regarding, oh, by the way, he can't indict. In fact, media was talking about Trump getting indicted under 18 U.S. Code 371, which I write about in the Federalist. The article is below if you just click on my author page in the Federalist. I write about that article. I mean, that statute should be used to indict Comey, Comey and McCabe and Strzok and all of them. That's the statute that says if you defraud the United States government for any purpose, utilizing government agencies against their stated purpose, you've committed major, major felonies. But here, they spent 3 years. Second, this is from the Mueller report. Second, while the investigation identified numerous links between individuals with ties to the Russian government and individuals associated with the Trump campaign, the evidence was not sufficient to support criminal charges. It didn't say that the Justice Department memo prevented us. They said he writes the article, well, whoever wrote the Mueller report, which Mueller didn't even read. The evidence was not sufficient Among other things, the evidence was not sufficient to charge any campaign official as an unregistered agent of the Russian government or other Russian principal. And our evidence about the June 9, 2016 meeting and release of hacked material was not sufficient to charge a criminal campaign finance violation. Further, the evidence was not sufficient to charge that any member of the Trump campaign conspired with representatives of the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 election. Nothing was sufficient for anything. Okay, if anyone was exonerated, it was Trump. He was actually investigated. Clinton was not. First of all, the same liberals and people on the left, jumping up and down for joy that Clinton didn't find anything with the Clinton Foundation. Well, they don't even know who John Huber is, because John Huber is like basically the invisible man. And don't say that there were no leaks. Okay, the Titanic was not meant to be a submarine. Not everything has a silver lining. Lots of times things just stink and that's it. Okay, John Huber did nothing. You know how we know he didn't interview anyone under oath? Nobody was given a subpoena. He had the power to obtain witnesses from the Clinton Foundation, from a whole lot of other places. He didn't. Not one person under oath. Not one person under oath testified. So he found nothing because he didn't investigate. Comey found a whole bunch of things. Then he said no reasonable prosecutor would indict. So there you go. They're going to acquit President Trump. And what they should do today, if they don't get the articles of impeachment today, Josh Hawley's resolution should be binding, and McConnell after today should say, you know what, we're gonna go ahead with it and dismiss this and acquit the president without the articles, because she hasn't sent the articles today. Give me your thoughts below. Then they can go back and forth and say, then they go, oh my God, whatever. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care because it's been since December 19th. Give me your thoughts. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Write this.